From the dawn of existence, we have gazed at the world with wonder. We have stared into firelight, into the faces of one another, into the unending sky, and we have asked the same question for thousands of years: what does it mean to be human? We know the facts of our biology. We are made of cells and stardust. We are animals who learned to stand, think, and dream. But our story is not written only in our bones. It is written in the longing of our hearts, in our search for meaning, in the strange power that moves us to create beauty, to love, to heal, and to hope. To be human is to carry contradictions. We are capable of kindness and cruelty, wisdom and foolishness, gentleness and destruction. We build cities that touch the clouds, yet we plant flowers at the graves of those we love. We look to the stars with curiosity while still wondering about the spirit within us. Somewhere between science and soul lies the mystery of our existence. That is where the true meaning of being human is found. In the beginning, before we had language, there were only sounds of nature, the rustle of leaves, the crack of thunder, the rhythm of waves. Our ancestors listened. They learned to imitate the patterns, to make rhythm, to communicate. Out of listening came music. Out of curiosity came language. Out of fear and wonder came stories. Around firelight, our species began to remember. We became the storytelling animal, the creature that could hold the past in memory and imagine futures that did not yet exist. This ability, to imagine what is not, is one of the first marks of humanity. We dreamed, and through dreaming, we began to build. Every tool, every song, every idea began as imagination. The first humans who painted on cave walls were not simply recording animals, they were expressing awe. They were saying, "I was here. I saw. I felt. I am alive." That whisper echoes through every age, every language, every poem, every invention. To be human is to be aware of time, to know that life is fleeting and still to create something that might outlast us. As civilization grew, we found new ways to express what stirred within us. We learned to measure the stars, to count the seasons, to build homes and temples. We discovered gods, then questioned them. We invented morality and law, music and mathematics, and we carried forward the same longing for connection that once made our ancestors lift their eyes toward firelight. We began to ask deeper questions: who made us? Why are we here? What is the purpose of consciousness itself? Every generation has asked these questions, and none have found a final answer. Perhaps that is what keeps us moving. The search is the purpose. The act of asking makes us human. For in asking, we reveal that we care about more than survival. We care about meaning. The animal eats to live. The human writes to understand why life matters at all. But being human is not only thought, it is feeling. We are creatures of emotion. Love, fear, joy, sorrow, these are not flaws in our design but the essence of it. Our emotions connect us to one another. The cry of a newborn, the laughter of a child, the tears at a farewell, they remind us that empathy is as vital as air. It is through feeling that we recognize ourselves in others. A mother holding her child in Nepal, a father teaching his son to fish in Canada, a young woman singing in a crowded city street, all feel the same pulse of tenderness, the same heartbeat of humanity. Scientists have mapped the human brain, found the centers of emotion, the chemicals of pleasure and pain. Yet even with all our knowledge, we still cannot fully explain love. It remains a mystery that resists measurement. Love makes us sacrifice for one another, build art, start wars, heal wounds, and forgive the unforgivable. It makes life worth living and sometimes unbearable. In its power and fragility, love might be the truest definition of what it means to be human. We are also shaped by curiosity. The urge to know drives us to the ends of the earth and beyond. From the first explorers who crossed oceans to the astronauts who walked on the moon, we have always sought to understand what lies over the horizon. Curiosity is not just about discovery, it is about identity. We explore because something inside us whispers that the unknown is part of who we are. The stars we study are the same ones that formed us. The carbon in our bodies was forged in ancient suns. When we look at the universe, we are looking at our reflection. And yet, as we chase the stars, we often forget the ground beneath our feet. Our connection to nature is older than our history. Every breath we take comes from the leaves of trees. Every meal we eat is a gift of the soil. For most of our existence, we lived close to this truth. We followed the migration of animals, the rhythm of rain and drought. We worshipped rivers and mountains because we felt their power. In their silence, we recognized the same silence that lives in us. To be human is to belong to the earth, even when we pretend otherwise. Modern life has drawn us away from that connection. We live in cities of glass and steel, surrounded by screens and noise, forgetting that somewhere inside, our hearts still beat to the rhythm of the wind and waves. When we step into a forest, something ancient awakens. We breathe differently. Our minds quiet. We remember, if only for a moment, that we are not separate from nature. We are nature that has learned to speak. The paradox of our age is that we have gained control over the planet but lost connection to it. We have learned to harvest the power of atoms and the code of life itself, yet we struggle to find harmony within our own hearts. We have mapped the world, but we have not mapped meaning. Progress has given us comfort but not contentment. We can illuminate the night with a million lights, yet sometimes feel more lost in darkness than ever before. Why? Because being human is not about what we possess, it is about what we perceive. The more we fill our lives with things, the more we hunger for purpose. We are creatures of wonder, not consumption. When we stand on a mountain or listen to a song that moves us, when we help a stranger or hold the hand of someone dying, we glimpse what truly sustains us. It is not wealth or power, but connection, to each other, to the earth, and to something beyond comprehension. We are also creatures of memory. Our history lives not just in books but in our genes. The same instincts that guided our ancestors still whisper within us. The fear of loss, the joy of belonging, the call of freedom, these are echoes of an ancient song. Our brains remember patterns of firelight, the safety of the tribe, the rhythm of footsteps on soil. Though our world has changed, our souls have not. Beneath the noise of modern life, the old song still plays. And yet, with all our brilliance, we are fragile. A virus invisible to the eye can bring the world to its knees. A single act of cruelty can echo for generations. Our power is vast, but so is our vulnerability. Perhaps that is why compassion exists, to remind us that strength without kindness is hollow. Compassion is humanity's greatest invention. It transcends instinct. It is a choice. We are the only species that weeps for the suffering of others, that risks life to save a stranger, that creates beauty in the face of despair. In compassion, we find our true intelligence, the wisdom of the heart. Being human also means living with awareness of death. Unlike any other creature, we know our time is limited. This knowledge could have crushed us, but instead it made us creators. Because we know life ends, we strive to make it meaningful. We build monuments, write songs, plant trees, raise children, love deeply. Mortality gives life its urgency and its beauty. Every sunset, every embrace, every heartbeat matters because it will not last forever. In the shadow of death, we learn to live. And still, we dream of eternity. Some find it in faith, others in legacy, others in the quiet moments where love transcends loss. Across cultures, humans have always sought the sacred, the sense that life has purpose beyond survival. Whether we call it God, the universe, or the soul, this yearning for transcendence is woven into us. We are spiritual not because of religion but because of awareness. To feel awe, to be moved by the vastness of existence, that is spirituality in its purest form. Every act of kindness, every work of art, every moment of courage is an answer to that yearning. They are ways of saying, I was here, and my being mattered. We are creatures of paradox. We are capable of immense cruelty and unimaginable love, of destruction that scars generations and of compassion that heals wounds we cannot see. Inside every human being is the capacity for both. What we become depends on what we nurture. Civilization itself is the story of this struggle, between greed and generosity, fear and curiosity, isolation and connection. To be human is to make choices, and choices shape the world. Every bridge, every war, every act of kindness began with a decision made in the quiet of the mind. We like to believe we are guided by reason, yet more often it is emotion and belief that steer us. This too is part of our nature. Logic builds machines, empathy builds homes. We need both, and we are never complete without the balance of heart and mind. When we look back at history, we see the footprints of that duality. The same species that created fire created art. The same mind that invented the wheel also wrote poetry. We explore because we can, and we destroy because we forget why we should not. And yet, through every age, there are always those who choose creation over chaos. They are the ones who remind us what it means to be truly human, not perfect, but purposeful. Humanity is defined not by perfection but by persistence. We fall, we rebuild. We grieve, we love again. Every generation is born into a world of uncertainty and still chooses hope. Hope is our most remarkable trait. It is not logical, and it is often fragile, yet it survives everything. It is the whisper that carries us through war, loss, and despair. Hope is the seed of every rebirth. Without it, our species would have ended long ago. We are also beings of imagination and memory. We can relive the past and invent the future. We build worlds in our minds and share them through art, music, and story. Storytelling is more than entertainment, it is survival. It teaches, warns, connects. Every story we tell is a thread in the fabric of humanity. Through stories, we pass down not just knowledge, but emotion. We teach our children courage, kindness, and wonder not through commands, but through tales that live inside the heart. To be human is to communicate. Language is our greatest bridge. With words, we shape reality. We can inspire or destroy, heal or wound. Every word carries power because it carries intention. Across cultures, the languages differ, but the meanings unite: love, hunger, laughter, pain, joy, belonging. Our words are the fingerprints of our minds, proof that thought itself can be shared. There is also beauty in our contradictions. We long for solitude but fear loneliness. We crave freedom but build societies. We seek peace but thrive on challenge. In our restlessness lies our evolution. The drive that makes us explore the ocean depths and outer space is the same drive that pushes us to understand ourselves. We are explorers both outward and inward, charting galaxies and emotions with the same curiosity. And still, despite everything we know, we are humbled by mystery. The human brain may be the most complex structure in the known universe, yet it cannot fully understand itself. Consciousness, the spark that says, "I am," remains unsolved. Are we a collection of neurons firing in harmony, or something more? Are we matter that became aware, or awareness that learned to build matter? These are questions without final answers, and perhaps they never will have any. Maybe mystery is part of what keeps humanity alive. The unknown keeps us reaching beyond ourselves. To be human is also to belong to one another. No person survives alone. From the first tribes to the cities of today, our strength has always come from cooperation. We share because our survival depends on it. We listen because understanding keeps peace. Even in an age of technology, when we can connect with anyone across the globe, our deepest need remains the same: to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. There is a kind of quiet miracle in everyday human life. The way a stranger smiles, the way laughter spreads through a crowd, the way someone reaches out a hand in crisis. These simple gestures hold more meaning than any grand invention. They remind us that humanity's true genius is not only in science or art but in compassion. To be human is to care. And caring is what binds us to one another more tightly than any chain of logic. At our best, we protect what we love. At our worst, we forget what love truly means. Yet even when we lose our way, there is always someone who remembers, who rebuilds, who forgives, who starts again. The cycle of human failure and redemption is endless and beautiful. Each generation inherits the mistakes of the past but also its wisdom. We are not condemned to repeat history. We are invited to learn from it. In every culture, we find reflections of the same truths. Ancient poems from the East speak of compassion, tribal songs in Africa tell of unity, European art celebrates emotion, Native American stories honor balance with nature. We are many, but our hearts speak one language. That language is empathy. It transcends nations and names. It is the quiet understanding that pain and joy are universal, and that helping another is the same as helping ourselves. What it means to be human is also written in our relationship with time. We are aware that our lives are brief. The mountains will outlive us. The stars will burn for millennia after we are gone. Yet we still build, love, and dream as if eternity were within reach. We plant trees we may never sit beneath. We write songs future generations might never hear. This defiance of impermanence is uniquely human. It is our way of saying that though life is short, meaning is infinite. We have an extraordinary ability to find beauty in imperfection. A child's drawing, a weathered face, a flawed melody, all can move us to tears. We do not need perfection to feel awe, we need authenticity. The Japanese call it wabi-sabi, the beauty of things imperfect, impermanent, incomplete. In this philosophy lies the essence of our nature. We are imperfect beings trying to make something beautiful out of chaos, and that struggle itself is sacred. And through all our contradictions, one truth shines: we are connected to everything. The same atoms that form our bones were once part of ancient stars. The same water that flows through our veins once flowed through the rivers of the first civilizations. The breath we exhale feeds the trees, the oxygen they release sustains us. We are not separate from the universe, we are the universe aware of itself. Every heartbeat is a continuation of creation. What it means to be human, then, is not confined to our species. It extends to all life. The empathy we feel for animals, the awe we feel before the ocean, the peace we find under starlight, all are reminders that our story is shared. When we protect nature, we protect the part of ourselves that remembers where we came from. The forest, the ocean, the sky, they are mirrors. In their silence, we rediscover our soul. And still, we struggle. The modern world moves faster than our hearts can follow. We chase progress and comfort, often forgetting the simplicity that once made us whole. But simplicity is never lost, it only waits to be remembered. The sound of rain, the touch of sunlight, the breath before sleep, these are the quiet teachers of what it means to be alive. To be human is to return, again and again, to these small moments of truth. We are a species of storytellers standing on the edge of tomorrow. Our technology grows, our knowledge expands, yet the same questions echo: who are we? Why are we here? What is the purpose of this fragile, beautiful thing we call life? The answers may never be final, but in searching for them, we become more than animals. We become poets of existence. To be human is to create meaning in a universe that offers none freely. It is to bring light into darkness, order into chaos, love into the void. It is to recognize our flaws and still believe in goodness. It is to walk through suffering and still choose compassion. Every act of kindness, every moment of wonder, every instance of forgiveness is a thread that weaves our collective soul. Perhaps being human is not about perfection or knowledge, but about awareness, the awareness that everything we do matters, that every choice ripples through time, that every heart carries the same light. In that awareness lies our greatest power and our greatest responsibility. And so, when we ask what it truly means to be human, the answer may be simple. To be human is to feel deeply, to love endlessly, to dream boldly, and to remember that we belong to each other and to the earth. It is to live knowing that our time is limited but our impact can be infinite. We are fragile, but we are magnificent. We are fleeting, but we are eternal in memory and meaning. We are the universe breathing, thinking, and feeling through billions of hearts. We are humanity, lost, learning, alive. And as long as we continue to seek, to create, and to care, we will never stop being what we are meant to be, human. And in the end, when the lights fade and the noise of the world grows still, what remains is simple. It is the heartbeat that connects us, the breath that ties us to every living thing, the spark that reminds us we are more than flesh and thought. To be human is not to be perfect, it is to be aware. Aware of beauty, of sorrow, of wonder. Aware that life, fragile as it is sacred. So when you look into another's eyes, when you feel the wind against your skin, when you hear the whisper of trees or the laughter of a stranger, remember, this is what it means to be alive. This is what it means to be human. Not the machines we build or the wealth we gather, but the moments we share, the compassion we give, the dreams we dare to imagine. We are stories written in stardust, walking through time with open hearts. We are the earth learning to love itself. We are humanity, endlessly curious, endlessly imperfect, endlessly beautiful. And as the sun sets on another day, may we never forget, the miracle of being human is not in what we own or achieve, but in the simple act of being here, breathing, feeling, and belonging to this living, wondrous world. This is what it truly means to be human.